Perfect. Perfect. Everybody, it's good to be here. It is time to talk none other than 21 Pilots lore, backslide, all of the new stuff happening with 21 Pilots. If you don't, if 21 Pilots isn't your cup of tea, hang around. It might be by the end of this. At Reaction Therapy, we're going to start doing some live streams that just talk about a certain artist, who they are, what their music is, maybe how long they'll be doing music. And the hope and possibility that one day I get to talk to them and interview them. Nick Stevens, you are in the house.
I'm here.
Talk to us.
Man, I'm going to be a very silent person today because I know nothing about this. So I can't really say anything about it.
Hey, look, when it comes to 21 Pilots, I don't know much either. But I have a lot of love,
you know a lot more
appreciation. I've learned a lot from you who have left comments all the time, just like Beastie. Tons of comments. Guy knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to 21 Pilots lore.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for this. I am so excited for this. And after this, we're backing it up with another live stream in an hour.
Back.
We're doing a donation live stream for a lot of people who just want to make sure they get their song heard. Like yesterday with Taylor Swift. People wanted certain songs heard. They weren't heard. Yeah. The donation live stream is a fun event. It is not meant to have a purchase to enter. You can come, enjoy, listen to the music. You can get on a wheel that we spin for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Hardly any money. Cup of cappuccino, maybe. And you can also buy a reaction if you want for a higher price, but there's only a limited number of those. And once those are gone, they are gone. But that's really meant to be a hangout, chill, listen to some great music, and have a great time together. That's what our community's about, Nick. Having a good time together, appreciating mental health, appreciating all kinds of different music, and appreciating each other 100%. Good to see you, Pika Warps and Drew. Good to see you. Ricky's in the house. Cheyenne's in the house. Beastie, Adrian, David. Woo! Ellis is in the house. I can't wait to dive into this. I'm sweating. Well, probably because I just went for a walk jog and then actually jogged a little bit with my back. My back. Oh, I meant to go get the ice. I'll do that in a minute. I got to get ice on my back. It has been killing me.
Wow. All kinds of sounds.
That came out of nowhere. The allergies are fresh in Houston. And I got in the shower, got ready. Nick got all this set up, and here I am just popping in. 21 Pilots. Good to see you, Elite. Mike Thompson, thanks for being here. Anybody who's not a member, your name's not in green or blue, I appreciate you being here. And you never know. Memberships get given all the time. So allow membership gifting on your account. If you don't know how to do that, Nick will tell you. And somebody may give a membership like earlier when I think Ricky did.
Yeah.
I saw when I popped in here. Thank you, Ricky. And whoever got that membership, say thank you, Ricky.
If y'all do want a membership, you can go down to our description box where we have links to basically everything. There's so many links down there. There's one link that says allow gifts, and you can click that link, and then it'll bring up a box that you can check. It might already be enabled, it might not, so you might have to click that box. And then after that, it's just the luck of the draw.
That's right.
Basically.
That is exactly right.
But if you don't have that enabled, then there's no chance you can get one. So
you have to have membership gifting enabled. I love walking too. Everybody loves, you know what do you say? Balance keeps me stable, right?
For sure.
Eating, sleeping, exercise, movement, walking. Jill and I were talking this morning. We're not going to be able, we're going to have to walk like tomorrow morning if we want to, because tomorrow night we are going to the Rolling Stones concert in Houston, Texas. And guess what, Nick? That is the first concert of their tour here in the States. Houston.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe we get the opening show. They got to be the freshest they can be. And I also noticed another thing, Nick. Mick Jagger's like 80 years old now.
Yeah, he is.
Literally 80. Their shows are like 4 or 5 days apart. They probably have to have time to rest up, recoup, travel, and get ready again. Man, I'm so pumped to see them because it may be the last time ever.
Hey, by the way, you mentioned Balance Keeps You Stable. Our merch store is back up and running. I mean, it's been there, but it's more now. Everything's updated. Everything on there is what we have. So if you want like a Balance Keeps Me Stable shirt or hoodie, it's out there. Limited sizes, but go check it out. reactiontherapy.us. You can go there. You can shop all the merch. We have the Let's Spread Mental Health Awareness shirts that Tom was wearing yesterday, I think. I don't know, maybe not. The Jill 24/7 quote shirts. Yep. And then we have the Mental Health Matters, and then all our old things. Balance Keeps You Stable. My therapist is an influencer. Reactions are my therapy. All of that's on the merch store. So go get it.
Keon's, I have not gotten tickets yet. I am waiting, and we're going to try to get our office together to get tickets together so we can all go together this year. So I need to secure those for Houston, Texas, because it's coming up sooner than we think. And also, Keon said 21 Pilots are doing a live show next Thursday, Nick. Is that a live show or a live stream? Like a show? Like they're going to perform? That'd be amazing.
Haven't they done streams like that before? So it might be a stream.
And they're expensive too, man. These concerts these days are not cheap.
Yeah,
so before we get into the actual 21 Pilots lore and talk, because I need to learn from y'all and also want to say what I think about things. I want to be able to address something that came up yesterday in a live stream we did with Taylor Swift. And there was a little bit of strife going on in the room. And I wanted to say it publicly to everybody, as I've also let our moderators know privately. We've sent a note to all of our moderators. You should have that by now. The people who are in blue are moderators. They're the ones who kind of watch the room. I look at it as the teacher, which I would be, leaving the room to go down to the principal's office and leaving Nick in charge. And if he's in charge, I'm putting him in charge because I think he can handle the room the way I would. His name would be in blue. Anybody who is in blue, I expect to do that. Yesterday got out of hand to me. I was not happy with it. I didn't see it because I'm reacting and I didn't see all the chat that went on. I want everybody to feel accepted. I want them to feel appreciated. I want them to feel protected, that this is a place you can say how you feel, but never hit below the belt. I don't want anybody hitting below the belt, calling people names, trashing things on purpose to make people feel bad. It is not okay with me. I am not about that at all. And if you know me at all, anybody who sends me an email privately, I will respond to it, especially if you have a complaint and an issue. And we got some yesterday. I expect moderators to handle themselves professionally. And if moderators want to be a part of the room and just kind of talk and banter back and forth and say whatever, it's okay. Right, Nick? They can just be regular members and regular people in the room. If you're a moderator, though, you are not here to participate as another regular person. You are here to make sure everybody's getting along, everybody has a voice, and if somebody gets out of line, we address it. But it's not just to kick people out just because we want to. It is to, yeah, I would want somebody removed from the room because I would want them. And you know how hard I work, Nick, when people get out of line to get them back in line. And usually by the end, they're happy. We can work on this. So I want it said publicly to all moderators, because I love all of our moderators. Your name is in blue because we appreciate you and who you've meant to the channel. I just want to make sure you know that that role is to be able to protect the room as if I have left and I'm not here and you're acting in that same role. Respectful, professional, mental health is our thing. I don't want people to feel trapped. You could disagree with any artist, any song, any whatever. I don't like it. This is not my taste. But not to trash people or bad talk people or kick them out because you want to.
Yeah.
If you have any issues, I've told the moderators, come to me, talk to me. We will deal with it. But it is totally okay if moderators want to be a regular person in the room. Just undo the moderator. We can have other people step in to do that. From this point forward, I will be watching, and I have no issues stepping in. I know it sounds mean because I'm usually typically nice all the time with everything and try to get everybody just to get along. But I do not want people to feel like, especially if they're guests in the room and haven't been here before, like they are not welcome. I want everybody to be welcome. There you go. With that said, on to 21 Pilots. I read a great comment today, y'all. Let's just start with backslide. Somebody left a comment, if you watch that video, that said, I think the thing with the bread was, how was it worded? I don't want to mess it up. Was Tyler wanting to come clean with himself and just be a different person. And so he was coming to Josh's house, because you notice Josh was cooking a single burger, almost like he was on his own. But he was coming to Josh's house to come clean and just to talk about all the insecurities and all the struggles and all the things he's not happy with about himself. And then he dumped out the bread and couldn't do it and had to leave, which the bread dumped out all wet was his, all of his inner stuff that got rained on and soaking wet, and he dumped it out and he had to leave and couldn't do it. He just couldn't muster the courage to actually sit down with Josh. I was curious about that. I'm also curious about a ton of things in that, but especially somebody who highlighted my comment about the bread not having meat in it, Nick. Did you see how he ate bread? You probably didn't watch the video.
I didn't see it.
He ate this hamburger bun without any meat while he's riding his bike. No patty. And I thought, and then he threw it out. He took a bite and threw it out. And I thought, man, just like this person commented, maybe that was because you eat something and you have no substance in it. It doesn't taste good. He had no substance in his life, in other words. Tell me your thoughts on that, Dick. I'm going to let you kind of feast away at these people and what they're saying, and what the comments and the opinions are.
First thing is Aspen said Josh tweeted saying he cooked that burger for 9 hours waiting for Tyler as a joke. One comment.
Like in real life?
I don't know.
Not in the video. I think he was joking.
Yeah.
As a joke.
Hey man, all of this stuff I have no idea because I don't know.
Nick hasn't even watched the video.
No, I don't know anything.
Sad for me. Sad for me.
I'm sorry.
21 Pilots are my therapy.
Hey, just like we were saying earlier, 21 Pilots is not my favorite. I'm not going to bash them, but I just don't know.
Tiny says, tell me what that means about the chlorine video, how you're tying those two together.
BC said, I saw someone say the way Tyler dumped out the bread and not telling Josh before leaving is like not wanting to disappoint people.
Say that again.
saw someone say the way Tyler dumped out the bread and not telling Josh before leaving is like not wanting to disappoint people.
You know, it was interesting when he dumped out that bread. I felt like he was taking the bread and going to Josh's, and then when he dumped it, it turned it upside down. He noticed it was all soggy and wet. I noticed disappointment in him. Like, gosh, I screwed it up again. I was supposed to bring the buns to the party, and I screwed it. I just noticed a letdown in him, and then he immediately turned around. I saw it as hope. Of course, a lot of people are telling me, no, it's not that. He's in a vicious cycle, and he's always going to keep. You notice how he went back to the store, he threw the bag away the way he did in the beginning. He put his money down on the counter, he got new bread. That, in other words, here I go again. It's like addiction, right? I'm back in the cycle. I can't get out of this cycle.
Yeah.
I didn't read it that way.
Tyne said, kind of reminds me of the chlorine video.
That's what I was asking about. What does that mean? Tiny, by the way.
Also,
I think.
I don't know. I also love the imagery in the video with the trees. This is Keon saying this. With the trees being bright and lively, but Tyler refuses to look at it. And then it goes into his head and he's being thrown with dead leaves.
Yeah. And rain. And did you notice how he came out of the rain and the dead leaves and he shook his head like, whoa, it's kind of what's in his mind. That's what's really in his mind is rain, darkness, wet, old leaves. Yeah.
And then Aspen said that the 21 Pilots Discord has people wondering if the bread symbolizes Tyler's creativity.
That's interesting. I kind of wondered if the bread was his, well, and it could be creativity, his substance, like who he is as a person, how he feels about himself. You know, like he took a bite of the bread, just threw it away, didn't really want it. Then he used some of the bread to get some nourishment, some lemonade. Wasn't that interesting? How you could pay with $1 or you could pay with a hamburger bun.
Yeah. The way the lights were shining in his face reminded me of next semester when the car almost hit him. The Beastie said.
See, y'all are so good, Beastie. Like to tie these old songs and these old videos together. Y'all are so smart. Y'all have studied this. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's interesting. Also, the lights were shining in him on the next semester.
That's what the comment said.
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry. Sorry, Beastie. I read the comment earlier that was about. Where was it, Nick? Doggone it. Shoot. It was another song somebody commented on, and that was in my head. Yes, Beastie, you're right. Y'all are so good at that. I didn't even notice that until you said that.
Also, do you remember the song Drown that Tyler wrote?
I don't.
No pun intended. Apparently, this song has a lot of ties to that song, asking to be drowned by God, but then wanting to be helped out.
Can we all agree that he was talking to God? Or do people disagree on that? Not do you believe in God, and this is where I want people to really understand. It has nothing to do with whether you believe in God or you think God's the place to go. It has to do with whether I think he was talking to God in the way he said, throw me a line. Because I felt like he was saying, I am drowning here. I can't do this on my own. Life is swallowing me up. I need a line. But then the very next thing he said, Nick, was, he said, I'll take anything you give me if you just throw me a line. And then he said, maybe you should let go. And I wondered, does he mean let go to people around him? Does he mean that he just feels like he's not worth it and God should just let him go and just whatever? I'm not worth it. Or whether he should let go of his burdens. Those are three scenarios.
This is an interesting one too. These two. Working on music, both of them bring a piece to the music, Burger and Bun. Also, Ned represents creativity, but he is unsatisfied with it at first. Interesting. Burger and Bun.
Yeah, because it was Ned's buns on the package. Ned's burger buns.
And then Aspen said, I think he tipped out the bag and then realized he had ruined the bread and used them all up, which explains why he was so sad about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
BC said the bread may represent creativity since he mentioned he wished he never did Saturday, which could also be from Clancy's perspective. since Clancy was forced to put on a show in the music video.
Yeah, I read a comment about somebody saying that was Saturday, that it was such a mainstream poppy song that maybe he regrets doing it because of the song. But I thought it was an interesting song. Like, I think the whole idea of, getting lost in time, and I'm sure they do it on tour where Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're all just days, right? You don't have a weekend. You don't have you're working constantly. And so, but I wondered if that really meant it was too poppy and he sold out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, Ricky and Adrian, I'm with y'all. I don't know much about them either, so I'm in the same boat with y'all.
That's the thing, that isn't it something about different artists? Like, talk about Suicide Boys, talk about Lil Peep, talk about Billie Eilish, whoever, Taylor Swift. Yeah. That if somebody's into it, they have studied it.
They know everything. Yeah.
By the way, quick pause in this. If you want a good children's book, I don't know why this camera over here keeps doing that. If you want a good children's book, y'all may not know this, but Tyler Joseph's mom, number one, is a teacher, phenomenal, very kind person. And number two, is an author. And I have this book in our waiting room. If you have a young child, this book is something you should have. I hope Kelly doesn't mind me doing this. It's by Kelly Stryker Joseph, which is her on the back right there. She's phenomenal and such a kind person. She's the one that sent us to the concert last time they were here. It says that, and that's the deal. And it's a book to young children. If you have any young children, I'm telling you, it's a great book, because it says, I know sometimes you don't want to pick up your room, but you need to pick up your room so your room stays clean. And that's the deal. Every page, every story ends with that's the deal. And by the end, children read it and they see great pictures, and it's really cool stories of things. And she's like, here it says, but I can tell you need to. And when you do, you'll be able to concentrate more on playing and your tummy will feel better. So you're going to go potty now. And that's the deal. It's kind of like, I don't want to go potty right now. You're going to go potty right now. And that's the deal. It is the sweetest book. And That's the Deal by Kelly Stryker Joseph. It's on Amazon. I've bought multiple copies, given them to clients. I have it in my waiting room. And I'm going to try to send this to her and see if she will sign it.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
Man, I don't know about that bathroom thing, but if I need to go, I'm not going to say I don't want to go. I'm going to go.
No, the child's saying, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
How do you not want?
Well, sometimes they're playing and they're busy and they want to do other things.
I know. I understand. I'm just trying to make a joke.
So she's an author and a very good person. And I think, cool. One day I want to talk to her too.
For real. Spotify's like, people in this chat might have a degree in philosophy. With all
this, to understand this lore, and I'd like to go back, because some of this I'm seeing in the video, I don't even know, because I haven't been around long enough to see what all is happening, which leads me to, this is the end of the lore, right? And I think they keep seeing these songs and they're not totally lore related. Like Next Semester wasn't lore related, I don't think. And what was the first one? Losing my mind. Was lore related. And so I'm wondering if the rest of them are going to be more lore related. Yeah. But isn't it cool that they're going to do a video for every single song on this album?
I love that. I think every artist should do that.
And they do them so simple. Like, it's probably in Ohio or wherever they're from, and just in the neighborhoods. And it looked like the same place they did Stressed Out.
Yeah. It could be. And also, I heard somebody say, like, is this the same bike as Stressed Out?
No, those are little tiny tricycle bikes. That was pretty cool.
So that's the only thing I know about it. But I understand why artists can't do that every single song, because it costs a lot of money to make a music video.
That is the truth. And I think what they did, like Suicide Boys did, they brought a crew out to California to do their video shooting this last fall, and they did a couple in a day. Like, I think they probably just bring a crew out and do as much as they can.
Probably.
As quick as they can.
Okay, I'm going to catch up these comments.
Okay.
The bread is Tyler's creativity and the patty is Josh's creativity, and together they make a complete thing for fans. And Tyler can't come up with anything, so he keeps going back to find a thing he likes. BC said that he hadn't thought about it since he's not religious, but he kind of thought it was Clancy's perspective trying to get help.
Yeah, and the question there is, who is he reaching out to? I think given Tyler's history, I didn't know he grew up Church of Christ either, did you? He was Church of Christ. We went there for 5-6 years. I think he has a very faith-based background in his family. So I feel like a lot of it's talking to God for him.
The Neds are a hunted species in Trench by Dima. The fact they are commercializing off of the Neds, who are Tyler's creativity, but Tyler seems to taste it and despise it. It's like he knows it's fake. Interesting.
So Ned's good, right? Isn't Ned good?
I don't know. The end of the video as well, the man is still there, but only on the other side of the window. It could show how even though you may struggle and be in a cycle, it'll be a bit different every time.
Yeah, I didn't feel like this was Groundhog's Day necessarily. Like, in other words, I'm just stuck in this horrible thing. You notice when he stopped to a lemonade stand. It was almost like Peanuts with Charlie Brown and Lucy, you know? Did you ever see that? You've seen that cartoon where she's dispensing advice for a penny or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the psychiatrist. He was selling lemonade. And then he said, "Is that a stain? You should get it clean or take a shower," whatever he said. I was trying to figure out what that meant, but it's almost like he was going for some wisdom. He was going to get cleansed, and he got some lemonade, and that's what that represented to me. But didn't last. So I think it's always got to be about hope and healing when he's saying, "Can you throw me a line?" And he reaches up. "Can you throw me a line? And I'll take anything you throw at me. Anything you give me, I'll take it if you just throw me a line." That's a pretty big statement in a song to me.
Yeah. No, it is. If you look at the beginning of the video, the old man is watching Tyler's movements attentively, but when Tyler comes back, he sees him and then turns away.
Huh.
The man.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mean he'd be used to it every single time.
Speaking on the book, now I'm finally to the book comments. So I said, I know many grown people that would benefit by reading that book.
It's really true. Boundaries. Having boundary. And that's the deal. Like, this is what's important. I know you want to go spend money on this thing, but you got to pay rent and you got to buy groceries. And that's the deal. Like, it's important not to get into huge debt. It's important not to physically let ourselves kind of get washed away. It's important to mentally stay strong. It's important to spiritually stay strong. Like, all of those.
Yeah. Ryan said he's going to get that book.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a great book. Yes, Ryan, for you, especially with all those dang children you got running around there. It's a really good book, and that's the deal. Yeah.
Also,
she's a good person.
The man that turned away could be someone ignoring someone's cycle of struggle, turning a blind eye, or it could be what do you expect would happen?
Yeah. And isn't it interesting when he put the money down, he kind of slams the money down on the counter. And it's bills and change, I think. Like, he knows exactly what it costs to get the bread, and he's back again. It's like, I know exactly what this costs because I've been here before, and I got to come back and get some more.
Somebody also said, also about the dead leaves, the storm is only in his head, and it seems like only he could see and feel it, but it didn't affect anyone else.
Right. That's what mental health is about, or mental illness a lot of times. And that doesn't mean crazy time. It just means sometimes we let those stakes in our head, those demons in our head, like Ruby said with their new song, Suicide Boys, all those snakes and jackals, you know, we let that stuff in our head take us over. And he's got to shake it off and get back to reality.
Yeah. Adrian said that he needs to get that book for his nephew because he's having a hard time being potty trained.
Yeah. Here's what I wonder about. That's actually good. We've got lots of children's books if y'all need references at work. If this is the end of the lore and it's going to close out, what's next? Is it just regular 21 Pilots music? Do they start a new story? I think they're winding down. I think they've said they won't retire. Like, they're going to keep making music, but they do it very slowly to me.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a couple years, doesn't it, to get a new album out, which is great. Takes time. NF's that same way, 2-3 years. But I wonder how many more rounds of albums they'll do before they retire.
Kendrick Lamar, same way, 5-6 years.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to see the Rolling Stones. They've been touring probably for 60 years. I think the days of people doing this music that long are over.
Yeah,
I
don't
think they
it's
make
gonna
so much money today. I feel like, and they have families and they want to live life. And so I think within the next 5 years, that's it. And they just every now and then do something.
That is an interesting comment that somebody said the dead leaves link to the lyrics of Migraine. Maybe it's the weather or letters by my bed. Sometimes death seems better than the migraine in my head. Storm is the migraine, question mark.
See, y'all are deep. This is, Nick, my biggest struggle as a reactor.
Yeah.
When I see comments that are so wise and so insightful, you know why? I'm looking at it the very first time in one shot, and
Yeah.
I've got to get it all within a certain pocket of time. I can't sit there for an hour.
Yeah.
But a lot of people listen over and over and watch over and over and get it. And you're so wise and you get it. And I feel so insecure or inferior because I can't get it. That's why I lean on the comments and appreciate you. I love people who educate me. I struggle with people, though, who are like, wow, you didn't even get the thing about the bread or whatever. I'm like, bro, you watched it 5 times. And you've watched every single thing they've ever done. I haven't. But I love people who inform me. And so many comments of 21 Pilots are not just a line, Nick. They're a paragraph. I
Yeah,
love
for
that.
real. Neds are good. The bishops use
Good.
their
That's what I thought.
antlers for bad things. However, the Neds themselves are good. So the
Neds are good. Bishops are bad.
Well-
Horns. But when he got that set of horns, that gave him the power, right? And that first one, what was it called? Oh, my gosh. Next semester, backslide, and... See, now I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to check it.
Uh,
Let's see.
Ricky said I dropped $60 on prime
Overcompensating.
ribeye and top sirloin for my best friend's birthday. Probably should have read that book before I did that.
Got a budget. Yep. Budget and everything. Balance keeps you stable.
Aspen says they're going to keep making music. Josh said in an interview that they're already making the next thing. It just takes a few years since they only release things that they love.
Isn't that amazing that they're working on something that's going to take years to come out?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So all this stuff has been produced or created years ago.
Man, so many good comments. I'm trying to catch up a little
I
bit.
know.
Let me see. Trying to get
Yeah, I have no
somebody-
life, so I know every single thing he
Yeah,
owns.
exactly. Somebody said if you're willing to sit for nearly 3 hours, there's a video named 21 Pilots Experts Teach Me the Entire Lore by Brad, Taste in Music. He talks to diehard fans about the lore. Taught me a lot.
I think I want to see that. Can you
3
send the link
hours,
to that?
man. That
I want to
seems
see that.
so-
Not all at once, but I'll watch it over time. Center, you crack me up. She's like, bro, you've watched it 5 times.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a little bit of Tom coming out. Like, come on, help, give me a break. I literally, man, and this one had no lyrics. Nick's like, don't wait for the lyrics.
Well, we
just
did it.
go.
We did it when the premiere came out.
And I was like trying to hear, and I struggle because sometimes I can't understand what they're saying. I did feel like I got this one, but
Yeah, fact Spotify. I feel like I have a higher IQ now. B said, I think part of it is taking so long is also a marketing thing. If they release music constantly, people aside
Yeah.
from the diehard fans will get bored versus when it's their first song or album in years. Yeah, exactly. I mean, man, when NF dropped Hope after like 3
Yeah.
years, there was like in that premiere, there was like 60, 70,000 people in that premiere. Like, it's amazing when you don't drop something and then all of a sudden you drop
Yeah.
how many fans are there to see it.
yeah, it's just hard to wait so long in between. But 21 Pilots have such a solid fan base, and their music is so unique. Like, it's not the same as everybody else's. And it tells such a story. How are they going to mix these songs? I want to know y'all's opinions on how many of these songs they're putting out on this album are going to go on tour, because they can't play for 4 hours.
True.
Be a Taylor Swift concert if they did that. How are they going to pick the songs?
Little shots at Taylor Swift.
No, I mean, I would love them to do 4 hours. Who does a Taylor Swift concert? Nick's trying to put me, roast me here.
I'm
But
joking, okay? Golly.
I love the fact that Taylor Swift did 4 hours, especially because it's $1,000 ticket.
Yeah, well,
Like,
that's true.
It's so expensive. She gave
so
everybody their money's worth. But I would love 21 Pilots to do a 3-4 hour concert. But they could do an 8-hour concert. What songs are they going to pick that go out on this next one?
Well, it's hard because I feel like that with any artist that has a big catalog of music, they got to pick what song. And
Yeah.
are they doing a Clancy tour, like where they're doing the tour of this
I don't
album,
think so.
or are they just doing a tour? Because some
No
artists
way.
do an album tour.
I can't see them doing that.
Where they do mainly
You can't
one
not
album.
do all your old music.
Well, like NF does his tours based on his albums, then he mixes in some of the old ones. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they'll do.
Well, maybe everybody here knows.
Because the last time, like Rodway, for example, he did a lot. He went through his albums and picked a couple songs of
medleys
each. You know.
Have become the new thing.
Yeah, I mean, you
you
gotta
take
do
one
that.
song and you put 4 of them in it.
Yeah.
So you do a bit of each song, and that way you can get 30 songs in a concert. So that, yeah, you're right. That's probably what it's going to
BC
be.
said it is a Clancy tour, so I have a feeling they're going to do Clancy, and then they'll
But
probably
Keon
mix
says
in
no,
other
it's not an album tour.
things. Oh, well, we got some disagreements.
It's a Clancy tour, but I think that's because it's the end of the lore.
I don't know. Yeah, Taylor did do an Eras tour, so she went through all of her
All of
old
them.
stuff. Yeah, that's why it was so long.
So if they did a lore tour,
Yeah.
4 hours, 21 Pilots.
Oh my gosh. I'll be honest, I don't think I can make it through the entire. I don't honestly through any concert. I don't think I can make it that long. That would be so long.
Any concert, really?
I don't think anybody.
If NF played every song he's ever created,
I don't think
no.
I can make it for 4 hours. That would be too long. Like concerts for me, oh man, I don't know. I don't think I can do it.
I just wonder what is coming next. Y'all who know a lot, what is the end of this lore? What's it going to be? Like, just take a guess. What is going to close out this lore? I mean, he's gotten, it looks like, out of Dima. He's on the outside. So is he going to go in and destroy Dima? Is he going to bring everybody out of Dima and build a new community? Like, what's going to happen by the end of this? That's what I want to know from y'all.
Everybody's gonna come together like a happy family.
All love. He's going to convert the bishops to peaceful, wonderful people.
BC said he went to a concert this week that was 6 hours long. He was there for 6 hours.
Got to be young for that, I think.
Yeah, you gotta be young for that. That is true.
I just wonder what the end is going to be. That's my whole thing with trying to figure out these live streams on specific artists. Because, look, I could ask y'all, what's your favorite 21 Pilots song? And y'all would all probably say something different, honestly. Trying to think of what my favorite is. I feel like mine still would be, what is that song? It was in the tour with all the fire last time. Oh my gosh.
I have to look it up.
Migraine's pretty dang strong.
Keon says these are going to end in a cycle, or he's going to somewhat mute Boriface or muffle him. He can never completely destroy it, but he can learn to cope with him. But BC thinks it's also going to end in a cycle.
Yeah.
BC says since it's about mental health, and mental health is a constant cycle.
In other words, there's no end. That's kind of depressing. There needs to be an end.
Would that
there
be
needs to be healing.
anticlimactic for you?
In therapy, we have people that heal, they move on, they have happy lives. They've had tragedy and trauma, and then all of a sudden they have hope, health, and healing, and they live a really good life. So we could do that here. He could do that. I think it's either Heavy Dirty Soul or I love that one. Heathens. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. God, they're all so good. Goodness. Lane Boy. Can't pick.
Too many. CP said the end, I think, is a cycle. It starts over, but instead of being in the car alone, he will have Josh with him, relaying strength in numbers. Hey, wasn't that a Houston thing? I don't know. Oh no, that was that Golden State. I'm talking basketball terms because some NBA team had strength in numbers as their
Strength in numbers.
slogan. But
Yeah.
there's an interview of Tyler talking about dealing with wounds and how he may get happier, but that would never truly go away. But he can learn to cope with the injury, and he's not. I don't know.
I think a lot of that can go away. I really do. I think with the right help, a lot of that can go away. The wounding, the trauma, the struggle, the depression. I think he probably gets a lot of joy and happiness out of his marriage and his family. Like that's what brings him joy. And so I think sometimes with music, I want to do it because it's a creative outlet for me, but it also takes him away.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he appreciates that time off where he could just be home.
Keon, I don't know that you can link anything here, but if you want to DM us on Instagram or
Yeah, that'd be
another
awesome.
social platform, because I don't think you can link things in the chat.
Wouldn't it be fun to roll into Old Navy and see Johnny Keegan?
Yes.
What's up, John?
Give
Just
me a-
chat. Give me
me a-
some jeans.
Give me a deal with some jeans.
I don't shop at Old Navy though.
Yeah, I don't either. Oh man.
All right. Are we about to go on to the next
Got about like 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
And then we reset, get ourselves ready, change my shirt into something else and be ready for a live stream to chat and maybe do some music. Ricky's going to go make some donuts.
Yes, send some our way.
Little raspberry filled there.
I have not eaten anything today. I'm dying.
One of my favorite donuts of all time at Dunkin' is the Cruller. And then I'll back that up with some of them munchkins. See, you're talking about food. I haven't eaten today.
I know.
I'm starving.
I'm starving too. I have a headache too already, which is not good.
Drank tons of water.
Knowing what's going to come in this next live stream, I'm not ready for it because I have a headache.
Had my
and it's not a
Metamucil.
good thing for me.
John gets 50% discount. Wow.
Dang.
Munchkins for the win. Let's get together and have some munchkins, y'all. Churro donut? I've never seen that before, Sinner.
This is an interesting comment. Game Lover said, if backslide is an indicator, it's a cycle, but new issues, not the old ones. But it's new issues, not the old ones.
Ah. See, here's what I want you to know about mental health. Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We keep ourselves from getting better. In other words, I'm so afraid it's going to go back to the way it was that I actually make it go back to the way it was. That's why people keep having dysfunctional relationships over and over sometimes. They pick the same kind of person with a different name because they feel like that's what they're worth, that's what they deserve. They don't mean to consciously, but subconsciously they pick that. And we end up in the same cycle because that's where we feel like we belong subconsciously. When you recognize that, you start to look at who you're picking and you start to look at the patterns you start to get in. It's very much the same as addiction with drugs, alcohol, whatever, that we go use again to escape the pain of real life, like reality, and we feel the shame and guilt from using again, which makes us feel horrible. And the only way to feel better is to use again.
Yeah.
And we don't want ourselves to use again, but we feel like that's our only way out. We don't want ourselves to pick another bad relationship, but it's our only way out. And we can't learn what you're worth is more than what you think a lot of times. Jill was saying to me this morning on our walk that there is so much, she was so accurate. There is so much shame tied up in people, in humans, that we can have anger issues, we can have anxiety, we can have depression, we can have a lot of stuff happening, but a lot of our core is tied up in shame from way back in life where we were taught we're not good enough, we're not capable, we don't deserve. And boy, if you do some introspection on that, some writing, some journaling, talk to a good therapist, it's amazing what you can get to when you realize, where is your shame? Where do you feel not worth it or not good enough? Because we cope by using, we cope by escaping, we cope by bad relationships, we cope by denial and avoiding. and we don't stand up and pay attention to it and do what we need to do because it's too hard. It feels too hard. That's what this whole video. I think that's what Backslide's about.
And just spoke for about
Just
a
said
minute
it.
and a half.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean,
Post that son of a gun on TikTok with a little good music behind it. Maybe a Cat Williams sitting there with his drink. Like,
I posted that on the other TikTok I just did. You probably didn't even see
I
it.
love listening to him, how he just spits. All right.
Everybody's talking
Thank you,
about
Adrian.
what they're eating and what they're not eating. A lot of people. Meg said that. Hold on, where was it? Meg said, "I've had 2 monsters already, no food or water." And then Sinner said, "Get a snack." And then Meg says, "I'll get a Pop-Tart before the stream." It's like, oh my gosh.
Megs, what flavor? I'm all in. But you know, when I grew up, Pop-Tarts didn't have any frosted tops, nothing. It was just straight up crust.
Ugh.
It was not, and it was in a
gross.
toaster, man, and it would burn sometimes on the edge, but you took what you could. I go strawberry on the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Meg says strawberry, obviously.
Megs, you know it.
All right, guys. Thanks for being here on this first kind of test run for
This is
an
great.
artist discussion.
I love being able to talk about a specific artist for a little bit of time and get feedback from y'all. Love this.
Yeah. All
Hope
right,
you'll
we're-
come back for the next live stream in 12 minutes.
Yeah, so this next live stream, for y'all who don't know, we're going to be doing taking requests for donations. So there's going to be a couple spots in the
hanging
beginning. Yeah. Well, I have to say what I need to say. You can say what you need to say. Okay. There's going to be a few spots at the beginning that are paid requests, and then after that, you can get on a wheel that I'll spin. It's an electronic wheel on my phone that I'll spin.
When will that when will all that open?
When
when
I
can people-
announce it. Don't pay us anything until I announce
And it's
it.
on Streamlabs,
It's
not
gonna be through Streamlabs. It's the first link in our description.
through YouTube.
You go there, you pay the amount that we say for a request, you get it. The first however many people get it, and then the rest of them will be on the wheel. So the wheel is cool. It's gonna be a lot less money to donate. You can get a spot on the wheel, and every certain amount of money you pay, you get another spot on the wheel. So I think Meg's last time had like 30 spots on the wheel or
It's
something.
like for every
crazy
10
that.
people on the wheel, we do a reaction. If there's 30 people on the wheel, we do 3 reactions. So you're going to have a chance.
Yes. So be there if you want.
The breasts. Oh, Ricky.
I don't know if we can do it. 21, sorry, not 30. It was
I
21
agree with
spots on
you.
the wheel.
If there is a $1,500 donation goal, I'll practically mail you the breasts. If y'all don't know what the breasts are, they're behind my seat here. They're the model we use to put our shirts on. If you look at our website, they're the model we use instead of people we use to fake it. We have a male and a female. We should put both of them up.
But the female just has, obviously
Breasts.
What more defined? The
They're
male
great
has them
figures.
too. But
I want this
man,
male
they are-
body.
That body,
He's
those
ripped.
bodies are ripped, bro.
Like they're perfect shaped bodies.
They are. Okay.
But they have no head,
Before we
they
get
have no
canceled,
legs,
let's
arms,
get out of here.
nothing.
Just kidding.
Love y'all.
Thanks, y'all.
We'll be back on in 5 minutes to do the pregame.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
5 minutes, it'll
Okay, guys.
crank back up.
Thank y'all for being here. We will see y'all on the next
Reaction therapy.